What's up, everyone? Do you ever just come outside, do some work, and you're kind of excited, and next thing you know, you see that? I hate moles. Ruin everything, I tell you. I'll have to clean that up later. But, putting that aside, today is going to be the first mowing. The grass, in general, is about 4 inches tall now. It's fine blade, it's new. It'll get thicker, but something that I'm wanting to do this now for is a couple reasons. One, I wanted to get thicker, and usually when you teach a plant, or at least grass in this case, that it can't grow up, but it can grow out, it's going to get thicker. There's a couple places, like right here, that I'll probably just have to reseed because it's kind of nasty and rocky right there, and I'll have to work on that. That'll probably be a problem area, but in general, the normal areas will just start to get thicker from here on forward, and it will start to grow more normally. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And second, rain is about to come. I don't want to have rain kind of push down the leaves, because there are still some leaves there. In fact, there will be a lot more here soon, probably. And when leaves get wet, it can push down, cause matting, and that can cause grass to die. Then you have holes, and then it's just bad. So I'm gonna do that. First things first, though, my mower blade is pretty sharp, but I am going to be using what I like to call a field sharpening time. I'm going to use a grinder, just a grinding wheel on there, nothing fancy. And I don't remember what size of socket to use to remove the blade, but I'm going to be, it's either 1/2 inch, 5/8 inch, or 9/16. It's one of those three. And obviously a big impact, because a normal one is probably not going to work out very well. So I'm going to get the mower out, take it outside, take the spark plug boot off, and disconnect the plug, and get this started. Okay, so as you can tell, this is my blade. It's not bad at all, but you do not want any dullness whatsoever. In fact, I even need to probably take this off too. What it will do is it will rip more than cut. You don't want to give any opportunity for anything to be ripped out, because those plants are vital right now. Spark plug is disconnected. Let's see here. Let's get our power tool. If anyone wants to know, it's a 5/8 and a Toro. This plate, this is only a recycler, but I put this plate on just because mine broke, and when looking at it, this is a super recycler edition, and it just seems to mulch a lot better, hence the reason why it goes on the super recycler. As easy as that. If you don't have an impact, you can put like a block of wood and like a breaker bar or big ratchet or something. Point being, so we want this. As you can tell, it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and do the sharpening. So you can't see me, but I have safety goggles on, and I'm just going to give the end of the blade a kiss. And yes, this will not be perfectly balanced, but I'm just taking a very small amount off. That's really the key in this. I just want to get the end of it nice and sharp. Kind of a helpful hint is to, you probably didn't see any of that, well, same thing. Kind of count in your head how long you're doing it, and same amount of pressure and everything. I'm gonna put it back on. I'll be right back. So I have videos on how to actually sharpen a blade. This is not how you should do it every time. This is literally just the first time you cut grass. You could just sharpen it normally. Fine. That's probably what you should be doing. I want to use my new grinder, to be honest. So, anyway, I've used like a nail I found to kind of make sure everything's balanced. The blade is balanced. So now that we have a sharp blade, empty bed, a couple things to go over. One, take out anything that's going to be hard to go over, aka this branch. Man, that mole irritates me. There's 3 things in this world that irritate me, and that's moles, easily kinked hoses, and unmanaged extension cords. Okay, so you're going to want to figure out the least amount of damage, how to do the least amount of damage on this. My idea on mine is this rocky area. There's only an inch of a little plastic cover, not cover, kind of guide for like the rocks. This is escaping me right now. I'll think of it later. I'll blurt it out. Anyway, so edging, there it is. I'm going to drive up, move this cable, because yet again I'm not done with the lighting until I get plans. Move the cable so I'm not going to run it over. And then I think I'm going to be going straight lines to the other rocky area, and at that point I'll just turn around. If that's too much, what I think I might end up doing is go around the entire perimeter. In fact, this is probably what I'll do anyway. Maybe 2 or 3 times so I have a wide space. And at that point I will not have to turn around at all because I'm just going into a big circle. And I'm kind of want to gauge how soft the soil is. It shouldn't be too bad. It hasn't rained for a while, and I kept this just moist enough to make sure the grass grows right. Nothing more, nothing less. So I don't think it's too saturated. If it's really bad, I might just go in a big circle all the time until I get to a point where the circle becomes too unmanageable, and then I'll just do the lines. So whatever your situation is, find yours and then do that. So I'm going to do now, put you in the stand and kind of mow, really. A couple things to think about when you're doing this though is this is not the time to mulch, it's the time to bag. Height is something to think about. I'm at 4, I measured, but some areas are probably at 4 inches. Most are actually more or less about 3 3¼ I'm gonna take it down to 2½ inches. That will probably give me enough time till the weather holds up for another mowing. That mowing, it's probably gonna be another week. So 2½. That should be pretty decent, and I'll have to I'm keeping in the 1/3 rule, keeping in a nice height for the upcoming winter time, so that's a pretty good, decent height to keep. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll be right back. Now, in this area, I'm just gonna go in a straight line. This one's easy. It's until you get to right about here. That's gonna be a little rough, but I think the last one I'm pretty close to the edge. I'll just scroll on down, and I'll just come over here. As you can tell, there's no mole hole there too. That's also irritating. But let me go ahead and get that done, and then we'll go over one final thing. It has nothing to do with mowing, but it's something to go over at the final details of a new lawn. Okay, well, here goes nothing. Let's get started. Okay, well, it's done. There's very few things in the world that I don't enjoy, or I dread. One of them is mowing a brand new lawn, because you're going to do damage no matter what you do. So keep that in mind. You're just trying to minimize that. But the benefit of that is you can kind of see some of the areas that you're struggling in. Like, for instance, I know this area, which has been a known problem before, because if anyone remembered the first video, right about where the rocks start, maybe the first line of grass that I mowed, they started to hill down to this. That area right there has always been weak. Another weak spot that I know I had, which I tried to fix when moving the dirt, is trying not to walk on it, but maybe about, let's see, zoom in there. Right there. In the center of the screen. I've always had a weak area right there. I took soil samples, and it has a very let's see, what would the exact term be? Well, the pH was 8. So over the course of time I'm working it lower it, and who knows what happened over there. But that's not the purpose of the video. As you can tell, sometimes I completely missed a branch or two, so I might have had to stop and remove them and whatnot. After this, if you haven't put a decent amount of fertilizer on already, this would be the perfect time to do so. I'm not going to probably do it this weekend. It has a lot already. I'm not going to add to it. But I did lower it down to about 2.5 inches. I only have maybe a bag, and this is a little over 1,250, 1,300 square feet. So your normal amount's going to be significantly less. Hopefully you won't have to deal with the stuff I do, where it's like the little spinny things from the maple tree and acorns from the oak tree and moles. But if you don't, you probably will have a fairly uneventful mow. Mine wasn't. It was all jaggedy and nasty, and it's at a weird shape anyway, so it's hard to get straight lines to save your life. But I try to minimize the amount of times I turned around, and when I did, I tried to use like the self-propel in a way where the one wheel was always kind of spinning, so I'm not just sitting there digging a ditch in the dirt. So I tried to, if that makes any sense, I'm just kind of like a wider swing. That's why I mowed 4 lines beforehand, because I knew it was going to take a wide swing. But just realize no matter what you do, there will be damage. We'll fix it. Depending on the time of year, if it's springtime and you notice a decent amount of holes or places where the seed didn't catch or anything, you can probably feel very secure putting more seed down. If that is not you, if you're in the fall time like I am, like today's it's the first week of October, whatever date it is, I can't remember, but I don't have a lot longer left. I have maybe 30 days. So in a couple areas I may throw a little bit more seed down in hopes that it might catch. I do have some additional, but it wouldn't be too hopeful that it's going to be a very strong plant. If you're like in 2 to 3 week range of your first frost date, then don't, just deal with what you have. Don't try to fix it. It's not going to work out very well. So I'm gonna do that. Put some seed down. This is, in my opinion, a fairly successful first mow. After I put the seed down, I'm going to water, and this next weekend I will put down some fertilizer again, because this grass is a few weeks old now, and it probably could use some extra, mainly nitrogen and phosphorus, not so much anything else, but those two I'm really going to be putting on heavy. I'll probably put like a triple 16 down. It will have potash, that's good, but I'm really looking for the first two, not the well-balanced amount, but because nitrogen is going to cause it to grow top growth, and then phosphorus is mainly for the roots, help develop a good root system. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. If you think I did anything wrong, feel free to mention that. If you think it's going well and anything else, definitely subscribe. Definitely throw a thumbs up. I will catch everyone later, and have a good rest of your day.